This morning I have read from the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and Galatians chapter 1. So let us have a look at a few things from these two chapters this morning. Galatians chapter 2 Corinthians chapter 13 is written about the final warning and final greeting words. Final warning and final greeting word. So, 2 Corinthians chapter 13 is the last chapter of the letters to the Corinthian church. Paul concluded with some few words to the church with a final warning and final greeting word. And Paul also prays for the Corinthian church to stay in faith in Christ and to be made them perfect, even if he himself was weak and imperfect. He could not resist the truth, only passed it on them. And Paul also explained about his authority from the Lord to speak for the church to recognize the truth, because Christ's power has worked through Paul. You know that? So, Christ's power has worked through Paul to establish the church in the Corinth, because Paul's purpose was to build them up, not to knock them down, not to put them down or knock them down, but to build them up. So, his final greeting word also, Paul desired for the Galatians was he wanted them to be joy, and he also asked them to seek perfection. He told them that you live in fellowship with one another. You would enjoy in God's love and peace by sending them the best wishes of rest of the church, and close with the blessing that they may have grace of Christ, God's love, and the Spirit fellowship. So Paul was saying all these things. So these are the points from 2 Corinthians chapter 13. Now let's have a look from Galatians. About Galatians. Apostle Paul wrote this letter to a number of early Christian community who were scattering throughout Galatia. So Paul wrote this letter to remind them of grace, and that the only means to be justified by faith in Jesus, not by the law. Then main purpose of this letter is to vindicate Paul's call by God and the gospel of grace. So now let us have a look from chapter 1. Chapter 1 is the first point is written about no other gospel except Jesus Christ, gospel of Jesus Christ. In Galatians chapter 1, Paul rebuked to the people of Galatia for so quickly deserting the gospel. They had gladly accepted but confusing seeped in. So Paul was reminding to the church to stay true to the gospel he received, because he received direct revelation from Jesus Christ. All these things Paul was rebuking and warning He said, there's no other gospel except Jesus Christ. Do you believe that? So guys, these are the points from these 2 chapters. I hope everyone may understand a few things from these 2 chapters.